It's your coach, it's your friend, it's the hybrid checking in. So here is the XPC Arnold Expo Invitational meet. So guys, this was back in March. This was actually my first meet in reps. And I was, I opened up here on the squats. I believe I opened with 630. Buried that, 650 buried. And then went up to 670, which I pretty much buried as well. My goal for the meet was actually to squat 700, but I was expecting my coach to be there. He wasn't able to make it, so it's a little bit thrown off. Just as far as I was actually having to wrap my knees myself, so I wasn't too confident in that, being that it was my first meet in reps also. So I kind of played a little bit more conservative here. Probably should have took 670 on the second and then went like 690 or 700 on my third. But I was fairly happy with the result. 670 isn't a bad number to hit. So after the squats, we move on up to the bench. And of course, bench is, I guess, my worst lift out of the three. But I actually probably had one of the best benching cycles that I've had in a very long time. So I was pretty confident on my bench, and my goal on the bench was to go 400 pounds. So I opened up, I believe this is 360 or 365. And I pretty much, that was a pretty easy lift for me. So then I went on straight to 390. Didn't actually get set up as well right here. I can remember my feet were sliding a little bit on the carpet. So basically just means I wasn't up high enough on my shoulder blades to really be digging into the bench. And therefore, on this attempt, it kind of stalled a bit at the top. I kind of seesawed it up, but of course that doesn't count. So no worries, I was pretty confident. I thought about going 400, but I just stayed at 390 as I did, think I probably needed the points. So came back to 390 here to, just do a redo. This time I was able, to actually get set up a little bit higher, dig my shoulder blades in, and I was able to complete the lift here with 390 pounds. So that was a PR bench for me at 198, so I was happy with that. So next is the deadlift, my best lift by far. My squats are kind of catching up though, but I would always say that I'm most confident in my deadlift. So I opened up with what I thought was pretty modest, 660. Didn't really have a number that I was aiming for at this meet, as I honestly didn't do a lot of deadlifting. I really focused on my squats and bench simply because my bench was always my weakest lift, and my squats I was using the reps, so that was kind of new for me. So that's 660, and it went up fairly well, but not how it normally feels. So then, for my second attempt, I actually switched shoes from the metal shoes over to the Reebok Power shoe. In hindsight, definitely wasn't a smart move, but at the time, my thinking was that the carpet, with the carpeted surface, possibly the Reebok shoes might feel better, as that, that 670 attempt didn't feel too good to me. So here you'll see I switched over, and if you notice, my right foot is a little bit too far out. My base basically isn't strong on that side, and maybe I just can tell that because I know how I pull normally. And so then there you can see my right leg locks a lot too early as well, so therefore I couldn't actually pull the bar up over my knee and get my hips under me. So that was a technical error on my part, and like I said, I shouldn't have changed shoes either. the lower base would have been better on the carpet in hindsight. But I did, and then, you know, just after missing the lift, kind of out of it, so I didn't really switch back to my shoes, which more than likely I should have. So this time, you know, I'm just, you know, a little bit gassed down. My setup is stronger here. Just basically, you know, last pull of the day, I just didn't really have it in me. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave your comments, questions. See you next video. So just kind of meet wrap up, I guess. Overall, the meet, I was pleased. I wouldn't say I was pleased with the results, but I was happy. I had a PR bench, PR squat, as that was my first reps meet. Disappointed in my deadlift, but I definitely know why. I mean, I didn't really, you know, practice like I should have, and, you know, it kind of showed on my technique, as it was a little bit off for the lifts. So just kind of a self note, you know, you always got to put in the time on each lift. Even if you're going to try and specialize in one or two for a cycle, you still need to, you know, put in the amount of time and work required to perfect the lift. Because, you know, even though normally my deadlift is really on and good, it's probably because, guess what, normally, you know, I put in the proper amount of time and work needed, you know, to perfect it. And through this cycle, I basically took that for granted. And that's what happens, you know, when you take things for granted, guys. Maybe it's there, maybe it's not, but you're kind of just leaving it up to chance, and that's something that you don't want to do, especially, you know, when most of my meets are out of town, so I'm traveling there, and, you know, you don't want to go out of town and have a bad meet. It's just not a good feeling. So definitely I learned from this experience, and I'll definitely improve upon it, you know, as I continue. I definitely want to do another meet with reps. I definitely, you know, hope to go over 700 now. It's, you know, that 670 was very easy, so I'm looking now at about 715, 720, and hopefully, of course, I'll hit over 400 and aiming to pull anywhere from 730 to 750.